Aloha everyone, in this video I will be showing you how to do a nice little animation or technique to make your Python programs a little bit more user-friendly when you're asking for input. So to start, I'm going to go inside my projects. I'm going to copy this template and I'm going to go ahead into practice so we can start practicing. So this one, I will be calling this animation input. I'm going to right click on it, I'm going to open it with my text editor, and voila. So let's quickly get started. Imagine that I have a program and I'm just going to ask the user, what's your name? Right? Change this to name. I'm going to ask the user, hey, what's your name? And then after asking for their name, what if I want to ask them what their age is? So notice I'm getting different questions from the user. So another one, I could just say, what's your favorite color? Now, if I run this program right now, our expected output is just going to be, it's going to ask me for my name, and then my age, and then my favorite color. And you're going to kind of see the previous question. So let's go ahead and open up the command prompt. Let me go ahead and grab the location of the file. Let me cd to it. And let's go run that animation file we just created. So this program that we just did, it's asking for your name and the age and what your favorite color is. Now, envision what the output's going to look like. It's just going to ask us one question, the next, and the next. And it's all of the questions are going to be stacked on top of each other. So I'm going to hit enter. So it's asking me, what's your name? And then if I hit enter, because I don't want to enter anything, it's saying what's your age? And then what's your favorite color? And then, since there's nothing left inside the code, the program is just going to end. Right? So asking these questions makes sense, but what if we wanted to do a nice little animation of like a new screen? Remember in the last video I showed you the nice little final project for Python beginners, tying into all their different Python codes. So in this video, I'm going to continue to show you how do you get that little nice effect where it looks like there's different screens after each question. So I hinted in the video that all it really was just a bunch of print lines. Bunch of print lines, right? So how do I do that? Well, if I manually did it, it would look like this. Print, 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 like a bunch of times to achieve that effect. I think that's enough. I think that's a lot. So let me go ahead and copy this and separate them here. So they're all separated now. So now that when I run it, it'll kind of give the appearance of a new screen. Get my output window. And of course it depends on, the size of your output window. Like if you make it really big, maybe you're going to need more blank lines. So if your window was really small, then maybe you don't need so many prints. So let's go ahead and rerun the program. It's saying, what's your name? Notice I didn't clear it out at the top here. So I'm just gonna press enter. And the next one is, what's your age? So notice it clears everything. So now it's like kind of like a new screen. Nice little effect. So that the user, whoever's giving you the input, is more focused on the question at hand versus all the other things at the top. You know, what's your favorite color? And program ends. So to improve that, I can add those prints all the way at the top right here for the first question. So that before it asks the first question, it's going to clear the user screen already and then ask the question. And after it answers the first question, it's going to clear the screen again, ask the age, and then it's going to clear the screen again. So let's go ahead and try to run it one more time. So I'm about to run the program. So this question right here, it should clear it, right? Because right when I run it, it's going to clear the screen. And there we go. What's your name? It's a nice little effect that it's a nice little thing to do when you like create Python or command prompt programs. Then now it's what's your age. So it's a nice little effect. It's great. What's your favorite color? And then it ends. Alright, so that's a nice little trick. So notice instead of doing this throughout your whole code, I mean you can, but there's another efficient way to do it. And the efficient way to do it is to put all of these print statements into a function. So how do we do a function? Here is an example of a function. For those of you that are not really familiar with functions, but here is a nice little picture of a description of a Python function. So we have to write def because it's a keyword to notify Python that it's a function, and then a function name, parentheses, and a colon. And basically, whenever we do functions, we need indentation, kind of like the if statements. We need to indent it. We need to indent it because, so this is our function. And then everything and all our code below our function, if it is indented, it knows that it belongs to that. It's like these are the child statements or child code which belongs to this parent function. Now, here's another picture of the function, just in case that picture wasn't clear enough. Here's another picture, it's better. It looks like it's actually a code. So, functions, right here. So this function says def, it's called function1, it's got the parentheses and the colon. And all this function is doing is just gonna print out I am learning Python function. Notice this line 3, it's indented because when you indent things within the function, that means it belongs to it. And then right after, the function is called. And then when this function is called, the computer is going to go up here. It's going to go, okay, this is the function that was just called from the program. It's going to do this. And then it's going to return back to the function. So it's like a method. Method, modules, functions, they all pretty much mean the same thing. Another important thing about functions that this picture is not telling you is that functions, before you call the function, which is right here, you must declare or define a function before it's called. So if this function right here was on line 7 and after, and then it was called on line 5, it wouldn't work. So functions, if you're ever going to use it, make sure that they exist before you call it. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to make a copy of it. Let's get rid of this. We are going to create a function that basically just prints everything. Alright? So let's go ahead and top up our code because we want to define the function that we are going to use throughout the whole program. We're going to say def. Def stands for define. And what should our function name be? Well, let's call it clear screen. and we're not sending it anything. And here we go. If I do indentation, this is where my code starts to go. So I did a little cut and I copied it. So I'm going to paste all my print statements. Now looking at this code and looking at what I just told you about functions, does all these print statements belong to the function called clear screen? No, it's not. Why? Because nothing is indented for clear screen to be even considered a function. So I'm going to highlight everything and I'm going to hit tab on my keyboard so that I can put indentation inside of it. So now this function clear screen, everything underneath of it which is indented will be executed. So now I can go back to my code right here and I'm going to call clear screen. Call clear screen there, call clear screen there, and I'm going to call it at the top here too, so that it flushes out everything. Nope. Be careful with indentation. We want to make sure that this right here, that's the only thing that's being indented. So I could put a comment right here, which would be nice. I'm just going to put a comment and say main code starts here. So that's basically like a separator. Everything before here is going to be for my functions. And then my main code, my programming code is going to just be below here. So I can either, so everything looks good. Start reading the code. Clear screen. Clear screen is going to go up to this function. It's going to print. And after it does its print, it's going to print out and ask for an input. What's your name? Then after it gets the input, it's going to clear the screen again. It's going to print. And then it's going to ask for the age. And after it asks for the age, then it's going to print. And voila, there we go. Now let's go ahead and go to our code and let's rerun it. And there we go, it's working. It cleared the screen because the function did all that print. What's your age? Cleared the screen. What's your favorite color? Cleared the screen. And ended. Sorry about the background noise. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's pretty cool. This function called clear screen, it just printed so many times. Now, for you people who want to make this code even better and more efficient with less lines of code, what we could do, see all these prints? We could basically put this inside a loop and loop it however many times we want. And then we can like add parameters here, maybe a number, send a number, so that what if we didn't want to print it, how many times is this? What if we didn't want to print it 28 times? What if we wanted to do 35 times? Then we could just have a for loop or a while loop do the printing and keep track of the counter and how much times it needs to print. But if not, go ahead and stick with this. But I recommend you try to figure out the for loop or the while loop so you can just have one statement in your clear screen that prints once and using and utilizing the programming functionalities to do the rest of the looping and the rest of the printing. Alright, well, I hope you enjoy this tutorial. It's a nice little animation for input. And in the next video, I'll see you again.